in that sleepy little town of Pascagoula. Well, hello, campers and bushcrafters. Welcome to Donnie Pavlini Outdoors, and today I'm going to teach you how to catch a squirrel. That's right, food on the table, Mississippi style. Hang on.
Well, when I was a kid, I'd take a trip every summer down to Mississippi to visit my granny and her auntie.
Hello, campers and bushcrafters. In a SHTF situation, being able to feed yourself is going to be a big deal. The way I see it, the way to have a more readily available food source, meat source, is going to be from smaller animals. Today what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a squirrel trap, and it's not like a conibear or something like that. The advantage to this squirrel trap is that if you have some kind of way of holding it, whether it be a cage or something of that nature, we're going to be able to trap these squirrels live and with materials that you can find most anywhere, scrap lumber. The advantage of this trap is that you can trap the animal live, and if you're lucky enough that you can trap several, put them in a holding cage, then you can have fresh meat. Say if you've got a bad day, a rainy day, a cold day, if you got live animals, then you constantly got a meat source that you won't have to get out and work for. And these are the materials that we're going to make this out of. We've got a piece of 2x6 lumber. As you can see, it's not the greatest of grades, and it doesn't have to be on this. You see where the sides are kind of knocked off. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. We're going to use this larger, the 2x6, for the base, and also for the top. And you'll see how that goes. Now this is a piece of treated plywood, 1/2 inch, and this is going to be the sides of the trap. Alright guys, here's the completed trap. Right now it's set, showing you, giving you an idea. Simply, the squirrel is going to enter in through the front, in the back. See if I can get down here to show you. Let's see. Wish I had a little more light on the subject, but I don't. In the back, there's the bait. I've got a pecan. Notice I didn't say pecan. It's a pecan. That's the way we say it down here. But the squirrel is going to enter in through the front. When he pulls on the pecan, that's going to be his undoing. This is the back of the trap, and what I have, that's the end of the nail. Let's see if this will focus in on it. Got this little piece of bank line that's right, the loop is right at the edge there, and that's where part of our trigger mechanism. Now what I'm going to do is demonstrate how this thing works. What I have is I've got a string tied on that pecan. That's the bait that's on the nail. When the squirrel pulls on the pecan, and notice it's not a lot of force here. In fact, I'll choke up on my string a little bit. But he's going to pull, he's going to want it. And that's that. Now, let's talk about the release of the animal. Or he's going to have to be released, let's just face it. What do? You take the squirrel trap out of the tree or wherever. You could actually set this up on the ground if you want. It doesn't have to necessarily be in a tree. But what you do is you put a sack underneath. You raise the trap, put the sack in there. Go back here where your string is, pull up on the door, the squirrel's definitely going to run out to the sack. Now, notice back here, this gap, you got to make sure that your sack comes back here, okay? Now, the squirrel's instinctively going to run out. Let him do it. And that's what you want. Then, if you want to eat him then, you simply take a stick and knock him. Just hit him one time. Doesn't take much to take him out. Or if you want to keep him, that's where it gets a little trickier. You're going to have to move the sack away and down. Move the sack away and down, and you're going to have to time it when the squirrel is running to the rear of the sack. So, there you go. Okay, for squirrel trapping. Remember we had built our trap. Now it's time to set it. We're going to do it in the yard, actually, and we're going to see how it works out. I have a feeling we'll probably get lucky, but what we have to do before we put the trap into position is we have to scent the trap, and with the bait that I'm using is going to be pecans, as you know. And so what I want to do is I want to get a good pecan scent all over this trap, and hopefully that'll be all that it'll take to get a squirrel in there and see how it goes. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and crack one of these pecans. We're going to try. These are small ones, like seedling pecans. A little bit harder to crack. There we go. Got to kind of educate them. What you want to do is you want to rub the pecan oil that has all the scent, the pecan scent, all over the surface of the trap. Well, not so much on the sides, but you definitely want it on the top. More than likely that's going to be where the squirrel's going to come from, is the top. For some reason that seems to be the path they always take. Even though I'm going to put this, I'm not going to put this on a limb, I don't think. Well, I might. But anyway, I'm going to put it probably in the crotch of a tree. You want to make sure that you get enough of this oil. I've already started on the inside. And believe it or not, for good measure, my bait pecan that I have here, I want to show you this up close. This is what I did. I drilled a hole in the pecan inside. I've got my nail here that I took the head off and shaved around the very end of it so that it's smooth and slippery. Okay, thread this through. Now I'm going to take that pecan, that half pecan with that oil, and if you can believe this, I'm even going to scent the bait pecan. I want it to smell as appetizing and delicious as possible. The head of the nail, I'm going to make damn sure that I'm going to scent it, because it's not something that's going to be attractive to the squirrel. I've got this thing wedged pretty firmly in the crotch of this tree. I don't know if you can see it from this angle, but there's another trunk that's growing back this way. So now I'm just going to open the door, push this pecan in, go around to the rear of the trap. At the rear of the trap, right, she's set. Now the idea is that the squirrel's going to be around here. He can jump up here if he wants. It doesn't matter. You know, it'll hold him. Then he's going to get over here. He's going to jump in there. He's going to try to do the snatch and grab with the pecan, and hopefully lights out, or he's going to get trapped. I moved the trap from the first place because I had a pesky cat that seemed to like to fool with it. It happens when you do it in the yard, but I've moved it over across the street, and the reason why I did is because I saw some squirrels out here playing this morning. So I've reset it, recentered the trap, and hopefully this afternoon we'll have a squirrel. Well, good morning, one and all. Trap's been tripped, and we'll see if we got anything. If we do, he'll come running out. So here we go. There he is. South Mississippi squirrel trap, baby. Right there. That's the way we do it. Rock and roll. Well, guys, as you can see, we got one. It took about 2 days from when I reset it in its new spot. The squirrels have to get used to it being there, since it's not a stealthy type trap. It's kind of a new thing that's just put into their environment. So it takes a little while for them to get used to it. But they will. It's very important to make sure that you scent that trap. They've got to be able to smell it to entice them to go in. But trapping is all about percentages as far as how many traps are set. How spread out are they? The more traps you have, the greater your chance of catching something. So, something to consider. Low cost, economical option that can yield some pretty good results. As always, it's always great to see you, and it was a blast. This was a fun little project. We're going to have more coming down the pipe, I'm sure. So from Donnie Pavlini Outdoors to you and yours, have a great one. We'll see you in the woods.